All right, what's up, y'all? So I normally start my motorcycle therapy videos, hi fat girl, with a little quip about, it's motorcycle therapy time. I need it, so do you. But due to the weight of this situation and its impact, I just didn't feel right doing it. So my mom passed away, and it sucks. And even though it was a couple months ago, I'm still coming out of a massive amount of brain fog, and I've experienced loss before. Obviously, I talk about a bunch of personal crap on this channel, and in this genre of video, my little niche about motorcycle therapy, and nothing compares to this. Yeah, so I know this is not the way I normally do stuff, but I just didn't feel right. Didn't have enough whimsy to be on the bike and, hey everybody, it's motorcycle therapy. No. However, I am going to get back on the bike right now. This is going to be a long video, for one. Two, hopefully I can make it through it. Three, this will probably be the most intimate, most personal thing I ever share with anybody other than the people who already experienced it with me. And I don't even know if I'm going to do much more of these type of videos, because not a lot left in the tank to care about. So going to share some stuff that my stepdad said and did. Going to share some stuff that I did. It's going to be some choice language. And yeah, feeling so nostalgic about my mom, I might as well even throw my old intro in. So let's go get suited up, and then she's going to hear me talk about some stuff. Catch you in a second. All right, folks, see if I can get through this. Let's take it from the top. So, my mother passed away December 5th, 2025, which is my niece's birthday, and it is exactly 4 days past my mother's 73rd birthday, sorry. So, basically I was at work. My brother gave me a call. I was having a little counseling session with somebody in my office. We were talking back and forth. I don't normally like to interrupt because I got to give people my full attention. My phone rang. I'm like, yo, it's my brother. He probably wants something. I'll call him back. He called back a few minutes later. The weekend was coming up. This was a Friday. December 5th was a Friday. I have to work this weekend. I'm sure he wanted me to do something with my mom, because usually he only calls me when my mama want both the boys over there to do stuff, lift the refrigerator, boot, or whatever. And I text him. I'm like, yo, I'm at work. What up? He texts me back. Mama passed this morning. I got done with what I was doing. I walked out to the hallway to get a signal, make sure I could call, and I just called him back and said, what the fuck did you just say to me? And he was struggling to talk to me. And I said, what the fuck did you just say to me? He said, man, I wouldn't play with you like that. Mama passed this morning. I said, how do you know? He said, you know, I just talked to her this morning. I gave her a bottle of water. Bobby says she dead, which is my stepdad. And I'm like, has anybody called? Did you call 911? She's like, yeah, it was a couple hours ago. I said, I don't give a shit. Call 911. Get somebody there. Get a medical professional there. And they got there. Of course, while I was at work, it took me a while to get there, because by the time I got off the phone with my brother, and it was only a few minutes, I was on the floor. I was between the wall and a chair in the front office of where I work. It's called an orderly room. I'm in the military. It's the old school term is orderly room. It's just the front office area, which is where my office is. And my friend, one of my best friends had walked by, and I was like, somebody grab her. I need her right now, because I couldn't get my thoughts together, right? So I'm trying to explain to her, and she's like, what's going on? What happened? Who called you? What is happening? And I told her my mom died. So she gets, they help, the people around me help me get back to the office. My heart's racing. I can't breathe. Yeah, I don't know if my heart's beating too fast or too slow. My brain's all over the place. I'm like, I gotta go. and they would not let me drive. Which, granted, now I thank them, because I'd have fucking drove through the freeway. I would have drove over and through. I would have took the straight quickest path is a straight line. And so my niece ends up calling me to tell me the news, because I'm sure she found out, obviously. And I couldn't see. My glasses were steamed up. My eyes was full of tears. My eyes are burning. And my best friend, she ends up answering the phone, and my niece is like, "Yeah, let me talk to my uncle." So I'm like, it's fine, just hand me the phone. So I'm talking to her, and she's like, "You know what's going on?" I say, "Yeah, I'm trying to get there." And my little bestie ended up calling my ex-wife, because she got to come. They wouldn't let me drive, so I'm in full uniform. She comes to get me. She can't get on base no more, because she ex-wife. You ain't got no privileges. But she picked me up from the front gate, and she's trying to console me the whole time, trying to get to my mom's house. I get there, the cops are outside, because they can't leave until either a coroner or a funeral home comes to take her. And I'm walking in the house. It's my mama's house, right? I don't go over here for no other reason other than to see my mom. And I'm walking upstairs. My family's there. My stepdad's sitting at the foot of the bed, just sitting, looking. I see my mama. She's so tiny. And I touch her head. Oh, almost cold. And I'm like, she gone. And I kissed her forehead, and I just all the shame, regret, sorrow, remorse, which I still feel today, just took over my whole body. The whole, like, from the feet to the top of my head. I'm like, I should have been here. I should have did a bunch of whatever, right? Last thing I said to my mama was happy birthday and I love you. Her birthday was Monday, December 5th. Monday, December 1st. She passed on Friday, December 5th. And I always talk to my mom, and I usually go take her something to eat, but for whatever reason, it was Monday, it was my off day. I'm like, I got a drill coming up. I want to just enjoy my off day, but I'm going to call her. And I waited for my daughter to wake up, because my daughter works nights. And I'm like, hey, Ma, I just wanted to call. I was waiting for my daughter to get up so we could both tell you happy birthday together. I'm going to come see you. We'll bring you something, because I didn't want to just run over there and rush out, right? Because I don't. The last couple of years, I've been trying to do my mama right and just be a more present son. Like, I've always been present, but, my mama... Now, I've never lied on my mama. All the stories, if you watch my videos and talk about how crazy my mama is, all that shit's true. I'm not taking none of it back. In fact, it was part of my, I guess I gave the eulogy. The pastor gave the eulogy, but when I got done with my speech, people was like, that was the eulogy. We didn't need nothing else. So, which was awesome, because I kind of checked out during that anyway. I don't remember it. I wanted to kind of recite it as part of this video, but there's no chance. And I'll explain that in a second. But my ex-wife recorded it. And I tried to watch it. I couldn't bring myself to watch it. So when I put it at the end of the video, I don't know how the audio is going to be. I don't know if she's talking through it, because she liked talking through the movie. So I don't know if she talked through the whole... I couldn't watch it. Anyway, it's recorded, and it'll be at the end. So, I'm at the house, and I'm looking at my mom, and I'm like, looking at her. And I'm like, that's the first time I saw my mom as 73 years old. Like, I don't know what it is about. Maybe it's the same thing that, like, I always see my little girl. My daughter, she's 19 now, right? She's big as hell. She looked me in the eyes. I don't like it. But in my brain, I'm like, this right here. And I always saw my mom. I'm gonna put a picture in of how I saw my mom. And when she died, that's the first time I saw her as older. Right? My stepdad's 82. He'll be 83 next month, or whenever I post this video. He was born in June. And he was like, I fully planned for her, right? He got all the insurance in his name and all the stuff, because he was like, I'm checking out way before her, because he drank and rides motorcycles, and he was just a party boy, and he was in the military. He's a Vietnam vet. He done got, shot at, jumped out of planes, legs broke, rolled over damn explosives. Like, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and make sure she's good. So not only did it shock us, right, it was surprising to him too. So he's sitting there, we're all trying to figure out what happened, and none of us, like, he was an EMT. My mom was a nurse. My niece is a nurse. Both of them. My sister's kids, both of them are nurses, and they were both there. And it was just a rough time. We had to wait for the funeral home to come, and they had to kick us all out the room. We kind of understood it, but my stepdad was like, man, fuck y'all. He was like, that's my motherfucking wife. I seen her naked. You think I ain't? And we like, pop, like, you can't fight the people. Like, it's and you can't, like, he 80. What you gonna tell him? I ain't about to fight him. So it was a tough time, because we had all kind of gained our composure back for a quick second, but then when he lost it, it was like, shit. We all kind of lost it again, but we got through it. And within the hour, right, my mama was still upstairs. People had started showing up. I was downstairs, and I was already, my family is like that, right? We was already cracking jokes, talking about how my mama used to have her wig. My mama is a wig connoisseur, and I ain't talking about 5-10. I'm talking about, she got about 70, 80 wigs. And I was talking about the one time that she was talking to me, and I was just staring at her, and her wig was all backwards. And I'm like, Ma, you got the tag in the front. And she turned that wig so damn quick, and we all started cracking up. So while we're grieving, we're all still trying to, appreciate and enjoy, the memories of my mom. And we're talking about stuff. And, like, I had to work the next day. My people that work called my supervisor, called my commander. He's deployed, called the other commander, the group commander. And he was like, yo, you don't have to come in. And I'm like, I need to come in. One, I'm making the turkeys for the squadron. I make the turkeys every year in my smoker. It takes forever. I got these 2 turkeys in my fridge. There's nothing I'm going to do with them. They're going to go bad. I'm not going to eat them. And there's nothing we can do until Monday. We got to coordinate with the funeral home. We got to coordinate with the banks and all that stuff. Like, I'm the password guy. Like, all my stories about my mom is basically me being her free IT labor, right? So all her passwords, her backup connection is me. So when we need to get into her bank accounts, that's me. That's fine. I got that. And I could not be at home. There was nothing I could do. 0 things. Like, they took her body away, and it was a vapor lock. Like, okay, so now we got to start doing stuff, but there was nothing for us to do until we could start making moves on Monday. So I'm like, I got to go to work to at least get through this weekend. And then once I get through this weekend, I'll figure out what else I have to do in order to maintain my sanity, because this is nuts. I've experienced loss. My brother was murdered. My stepbrother, years ago during COVID, couldn't see him. I've been shot at. It sucks. Not me directly, but I was in a house that got shut up, and then when you realize there's bullets flying by your face, you're like, oh shit, I'm about to die. I've had, like, my grandma, my favorite person in the world. I was never like a mama's boy. I was a grandma's boy. That was gut-wrenching, right? 2005. I drove down and watched my grandma. I watched her die in hospice. I watched the life go out of my grandma. Not cool. Nothing compares to me losing my mom. It was the strangest, most devastating thing I've ever felt, and I felt some shit, right? So I'm like, I gotta go to work. So I did that, went to work, did the thing. Commander came down, talked in front of the unit, nobody knew, except my closest people. And then, we start to get the preparation phase. My sister, my older sister, is, it's 11-year gap between us. So she's in her early 50s, my brother's early 50s, and I'm the youngest. So my stepdad, we got to get the obituary, we got the flowers. My stepdad's, he wants the obituary this way, he wants the colors, and I don't know if I'm going to put my mama's obituary. Yeah, I posted it on Instagram. I'll put it in the video to show. Like, he picked this out for her. And we wanted to get the colors right, and they asked me what my input was. And at the time, I was so full of sorrow and regret and remorse, because I was Mr. Busy, too busy to come hang out with my mom. Like, I wanted to visit, but every time I go over there, she made me work, and then it made me avoid her, because I don't want to work. I just want to visit my mom, and I don't want to be here fixing computers all day. But she feel like that's the only way to get me over there, is for her to have something for me to fix. Or I'm deployed, or I'm TDY, or I'm just working, and I don't feel like going over there. Again, I spent time with my mom. And just like anything else, I still have to regret, like, it should have been more. It should have been more. Like, my brother lives there now physically, like, in the house. He was in the house where my mom and dad. And I'm like, that's insane. I should have went and seen her on her birthday. I shouldn't have been a lazy piece of shit. I should have just sucked it up. Because we believe, because she had she was fine on Wednesday. She had a doctor's appointment Thursday. She was sick. Friday, she was gone. I believe she may have aspirated, choked on some water or something, or vomited, and we don't know, because 73. My mama had medical issues. My stepdad can't hear. We don't know if she was suffering or nothing. We don't know nothing. They did the preliminary thing, but there was no foul play, so they didn't do like a full like investigative autopsy. I saw the results, and on her death certificate, the results don't help. They don't bring her back. So we're dealing with all this stuff, and at the time they asked me, my stepdad was like, yo, how do you want this? I was like, I don't deserve an input, just because I felt the way about me being an asshole to my mom. But I really wasn't. But I just felt that way, because I was like, you make the decisions. If the insurance money ain't coming through, if it's taking too long, I'll take care of whatever. So, if my mama needed the obituary, so he was like, hey, it's $700 down payment, and it's this, that, and the other. I said, give me the number. I got it. Whatever my sister wanted, she the oldest. Hey, you want these flowers? Go order what you want and give me the number, and you got it. Like, that was my contribution, was just taking the worry off them. And we not the family that fights about, oh, who get the money or we didn't give a fuck about. We still don't. Like, the insurance goes to my stepdad. I did the paperwork for him, because after this small period of me being so standoffish about the situation, I just absorbed those duties, because I'm like, I can do this. I can order you, get your death certificate, get that taken care of. The funeral home stuff, I'll pay for that. We'll get it back. And my stepdad called me up like, hey man, I talked to your sister, she said you will let me borrow the money, and then once the insurance comes back, you can get your money back. I said, you're partially right. My sister did say you could get the money and I will pay for the stuff, but you're not borrowing nothing. That's my mama. We're not doing that. You get the insurance money, and then if my mama's needs something, then that's what I'm doing, right? So it just became like he didn't expect that. I'm like, man, I don't need your fucking money. I don't care about this. I got a paid off credit card. I got a home equity loan. My mama needs something. She getting it. And then my niece, my second oldest niece, she made my mama beautiful for her funeral. She did the makeup, the hair, the whole nine, the outfit, all that stuff. We all as a family went to the funeral home, did the arrangements. My mom was cremated, and we got her urn. That's another thing. We had to pay for the urn. I'm like, cool. My nephew ended up taking care of that, I think. But it was like on the ready. Everybody was ready to do stuff. So, we had to go do the preparation, set down the ceremony and do the stuff. And then the day of going to the obituary joint, they asked what I wanted. And I said, you know what? If anything, I want to speak, and I don't want nobody to go after me. So the family, they was like, oh yeah, you can do this. I said, I'm gonna need about 10-15 minutes. They said, that's fine. I said, well, the program says 2 minutes apiece. They said, that's for regular people who present cards. You the son, you can talk as long as you want. So I said, cool, everybody can go before me. I'm going last. So we got that set, got the obituaries printed, got the program, all that stuff settled with the church. I spent days going through hundreds of pictures that my mom took, and I was trying to figure out why my mom made none of these pictures, because she took them. Hundreds of pictures of my childhood, hundreds of pictures. I found some of her, a lot of them, and I made the slideshow for my mom's funeral. I'm not putting it in the video. That one is too much. And I stayed up night after night, and then I went to work, and I stayed up night after night because I still had to go to work. I had to go to work. I couldn't just be sitting at the house. And it turned out beautifully. They presented it at the funeral. The day of the viewing, my brother wouldn't go in the room, and that was rough too, right? Like, it's my older brother, the big tough dude, convict. Like, he buckled, and I get it. My stepdad wouldn't go near the room, did not even go in it. So we had a private viewing, right? You get the viewing before the viewing, you're for the family, and then the next day you can have the public viewing for people to come show their respect. So I went to both, obviously. I went to the first day just to see my mom. We got the flower arrangements. My unit bought a flower arrangement. It showed up. I didn't know that. They had everything set up nice and pretty. I went in, and it was devastating yet again, because I hadn't seen her since I saw her in her bed, and it sucks. brother finally, I convinced him to go in. I don't know if I convinced him, but I helped him go in, and I was standing behind him in case he collapsed or, you know, just got weak in the knees, because that's his mama. My sister was already there before us, and she's strong. She's holds in a lot, I'm sure. And I'm standing behind my brother, trying to make sure he ain't gonna fall. And I turn around and my nephew's standing behind me, and I'm like, damn. The man in our family, we got a strong support system. We don't play those games. So once my stepdad finally decided he wanted to go in, all of us was behind him. And I wish we had. I probably wouldn't even show that picture if I had it. Like, it was, if you were there, I think it would have been a beautiful sight to see. So the next day, he didn't come down as far as I knew. I stayed there for a couple hours. Back to the funeral home in the big public viewing area. My sister was there all day for like 12 hours. I stayed for about 4 or 5. My people from my unit came, which I did not know. I knew my bestie was going to show up, but I did not realize how many other people were going to show up. That gave me a lot of support and love. And if they ever see this video, I appreciate it. I told them to their faces, of course, but it was just unexpected. So we get through all of that. You know, the big day comes, and it's, you know, he wanted her buried before the first of the year. He did not want this to go long into the first of the year. And you know, she was buried the Monday before Christmas. The funeral was the Monday before Christmas. So we went out, did the thing. My folks showed up in their blues. I was in my blues, one, because my mom never really got to see me in uniform, and two, neither did my stepdad. And I felt that she deserved to see me in my blues. So I did it, gave him a speech, kind of checked out for a second. Don't know how I did at all. I don't know if I stuttered. I don't know if I was talking loud enough. Again, I haven't watched the video. But towards the end, people said it was cool. And even before that, like, I got issues with my dad. You know, we had a falling out, I guess. A falling out that was big enough for him to not talk to me for 12 years. Up until late 2024. I turn around before all this stuff starts, and I see my own face in the background. And I'm standing in the middle of the church, and I went, holy shit. And my ex-wife's like, what? I'm like, that's my dad. Like, we had no beef, right? We just, you know, he never apologized for basically abandoning me. I was grown, but still. At that point, you know, none of that stuff mattered. And we didn't reconcile, but we kind of just been talking, right? Every now and then. But no, you still don't, just to get to come back. You hurt me, you have to apologize. That's not how life works. I'm not just gonna forgive and forget. I'm never gonna forget. There's a portion of forgiveness, but listen, you don't get to hurt me and never apologize, and we just brush it over. Especially 12 years, you're my only dad, right? I'm your only son, real one. Biological, I'm not gonna say real, because my stepbrothers, they cool people. Anyway, I saw him, I walked up to him, I hugged him, and then after the ceremony, you know, we all sat down at the table to eat. Him and my daughter talked, and you know, they took some nice pictures together. I will put a picture of that in here in front of my mom's, like, arrangement that they had, because they moved it into the banquet area, and it was cool. And they talked for a little bit. They were supposed to go out and, you know, have a granddaughter day. It never happened, but, you know, whatever. It's just, for that day, all of that shit was, you know, not important. None of the things were important, even after the funeral. So I get through the day, and then I get home. My uniform's still on. I think I got home about, I don't know, 3:30, 4 o'clock. And then I just realized that I'm just standing in my uniform in my living room. The sun's gone down. It's dark. My dogs are just staring at me because I'm, like, not there. And then when I looked at my clock, it had to be damn near 6 o'clock, and I'm like, what just happened? I think everything finally caught up to me, and I just checked out. I don't know. I completely zoned out. I hadn't changed clothes. I've been standing in the same spot for an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes, something like that, till my dogs were finally like, yo, bro, it's time to eat. You gotta feed us, sucker. And I'm like, oh shit, we're standing here. So I take off my uniform, I do all the things, and then I take a day or two off work just to kind of think. And I just sat and slept on my couch. I didn't go up to my own bedroom. in my house. I didn't want to move. I just laid there thinking about my mom, thinking about all the stuff. And since then, I've made several trips, even yesterday before making this video. I go back and forth to my mom's house, my stepdad's house, whatever, because I am, yes, duty and trying to make up for time that I didn't spend with my mom. And I was always growing up, I didn't like my stepdad, and I got a lot of respect for him now, and I kind of like him. But we had our differences, right? But he's the reason I'm in the military at all. He's the reason I think that I'm so well educated, because he just made me do stuff and he pushed me to be better. And I appreciate it now, of course, as an adult, because I didn't as a kid. And I even told him that when we was, we had conversations in the kitchen. I recorded a couple. I might post one or two little snippets just because I think they're cool. Other than that, those conversations were just for me, because I got to do it when he was vulnerable. And I mean vulnerable, I mean like he's vulnerable for an 82-year-old Vietnam War vet. So take that with a big ass grain of salt, because vulnerable, he still was cussing me out kind of. Anyway, so we, reminiscing and talking about my mom, and I told him how many pictures I went through. I'm like, y'all, how did y'all do this? How did y'all do this with all these kids? I had full Christmases. I'm talking about not just clothes on the couch wrapped in no. I had toys, items, gadgets, expensive stuff. I had real science kits with fucking chemicals in it. Like I could have killed myself. Bought me computers, real computers. I was programming at a young age. I hate it now, but Tandy Color 3 computer is old. I had one and I loved it, and I made the freaking Windows logo with one of the screensavers now, but it was like back in the day before that even existed. And I'm like, how did you do this? I'm talking about presents from the fireplace to the tree, and from the tree to the ottoman, and then on the couch was the clothes. And I'm the youngest kid. It was me, my brother, my sister, my aunt. She's unique. I don't know how to describe her, but they bought presents for her too. And I'm like, she was like layaway. I was like, oh shit, I forgot about layaway, right? And I was like, I don't remember this. What is wrong with me? Like when I got old enough, I just separated, went around my way. I felt like I was an unappreciative asshole, and I told my stepdad that. I was like, why you didn't just call me an unappreciative asshole? And he said something to me, and he was like, you was a kid, man. I don't expect you to remember all that. When I saw the pictures, I'm like, I'm seeing the memories flood back into my brain. And it was ridiculous how much stuff I forgot, how much stuff I should have appreciated to this day. And I felt like absolute shit, because my mom and him made it happen. This dude been in my life since I was 2 years old. I'm a mistake, maybe an accident, I don't know. I don't know why my mom and dad broke up. I never asked. I kind of wanted to know. I don't know where my name came from. I don't know none of that stuff. I just know that I thought some things that were incorrect, and I was corrected in my own research journey after my mom passed away. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. So he been in my life for 40 years. They got married, I think, January 4th, 1994, which is ridiculous. But he was in my life since I was 2. I thought he showed up when I was like 10 or 11. I don't know why the hell I thought that. I'm looking back at pictures. He took me to see American Gladiators. He took me to see all this stuff. My dad took me to do stuff too. But I'm like, he took me to see Bringing the Noise, Bringing the Funk. He dropped my mama off. Like, I'm like, you did so much for me, and I'm a piece of shit for not recognizing and thanking you properly. So I did so right then and there, where we was talking in the kitchen. And it was, kind of eye-opening for me, and it was kind of releasing for me as well, because I could never thank my mom other than just me talking to her in the air. And I can thank her through him, I guess. And we also got pendants. My niece, again, she hooked us up with pendants, right? Like, to go with the urn, because my mom got cremated. He was mad about the casket. He was like, we paying all this goddamn money for them to burn this shit up. Oh, God, old people. But they convinced him, sir, that you could go and see the process if you wanted. He didn't want to. But he just wanted to make sure that they wasn't just pouring her into a damn milk crate and throwing, or what you call it, milk cardboard box. And, damn it, I'm crying. He was like, don't disrespect her like that. So we picking out a casket. He mad because he about to just throw $10,000 into the damn furnace. But he got what she wanted. and the ceremony was nice, and we got the urn, and then when the urn was ready, my niece got us all pendants, and I refused to wear mine. One, because it's beautiful, and two, because I don't want to lose it. Can you imagine if I lost my damn pendant and I had to get another scoop of my mama and to put in the pendant? Now this is the kind of stuff me and my family joke about. I'm like, I wish I would lose this. Ain't no way. I'll never get another one. So it's nice at home in my little shrine area that I have. It's not a shrine, but it's like my little appreciation stand where I got pictures of my daughter and I got the things I made for my mama. Also, I made some very nice epoxy pieces for my mom. The flowers that were at her funeral, one of the roses snapped off, and for whatever reason I was like, that's mine. Grabbed it up off the ground, put it in my shirt pocket, and I'm like, I'm keeping it. And I was like, I need to find a way to preserve these. So I looked it up, and then I learned a new skill, and I now know how to dry and epoxy flowers. Cool. And it was something I did. So I ended up making myself a globe. I made a couple other small items when I was first learning the technique. And then I made my stepdad a massive, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexagon with flowers from her funeral and the one rose that she's had on her piano for about 10 years. This thing was petrified. And I was like, I'm taking that rose and I'm gonna preserve it for you forever. And I presented it to him, and he was, to say the least, happy about it, right? He appreciated the piece. I made my niece a heart, and I made my sister a heart, and then I made some other smaller pieces that anybody could have just grabbed. I'm going to make one final hexagon piece because I want a large piece for myself, even though I made myself the freaking globe. My brother, my stepdad, bought my mom fresh flowers for Mother's Day, and I want one of those flowers to put in the piece if I can get it. So, anyway, again, I told you this is a long ass video. If you need to take a break, go ahead and do it, but I still got more yapping to do. So, while I'm reminiscing with my stepdad, I'm going through all the pictures, I'm talking about all the things, and I start talking to him about the finances and all the other stuff, and he was losing it because he's like, your mama took care of everything. I don't know about how she did her system and how she did this. So now I'm the de facto, like, okay, I'm trying to help him get more on his VA if he wants it. He don't want it. He's stubborn. He don't want to get more tests. He don't want to go to the doctor. He don't want to do this. Cool. You get your VA benefits. You're good with what you got. You don't want to deal with the other bullshit. Okay, let's manage the mortgage. What's the mortgage looking like? My parents, the people who told me to be good about money, to manage your money, and to put 15% away, and to do this and to do that, were absolutely abysmal in their finances. The amount of debt an 82-year-old and a 70-something-year-old woman have astounds me. Their house is not paid off. They got 2 mortgages. You know, they got a pension. My mama had a pension. He had a pension. He's got disability. I'm like, none of their bills are on auto pay, which I get. They're old school. They still live in the layaway mentality, because my mom would pay the bills late because she would use the maximum grace period. It was before you get a late. It was before you get a penalty. Not a penalty. It's before you get a late notice or a shut-off notice or a delinquent notice if it's the mortgage. But it was after the mortgage due date, which means you still got a late fee. $50 on the mortgage every month for years. Years, not 4 years. What up, Turkey? Jeff. For years. Thousands upon thousands of dollars wasted. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So I got my stepdad on auto pay for a lot of stuff. I'm taking care of a lot of stuff for him. And it's just, he's now become dependent on me because I'm the computer guy, and I guess I'm responsible. I don't know the dynamic between, my brother lives there. Like, he can do the stuff, but he don't do that stuff. Him and my sister, I don't know, he goes back and forth. He's old, right? He changes man who his favorite is every now and then. He got mad at my niece for 5 minutes. I'm like, you'll be back. You love her. That's your favorite person in the world. And you'll be fine. She'll be fine. She's in her late 20s. Like, let her live. She don't want to be around this. Like, she came and she made my mama look beautiful. They came and got some clothes to give away to the women's shelter. Some of her wigs for the people who need them. Like, then she gonna go about her business. Pop, like, I come over here. Yeah, I got a life, but you know, I do stuff. And then I want to come over here and I want to help because I don't want you to be stuck under this stuff and feel like you don't have a way out and nobody do it. And I just feel like maybe I'm helping my mom. I wish I would have been more involved earlier, but I'm like, they've been grown my whole life. I'm the youngest. My mama had me, she was already old. And then my mama, I realized how strong my mama was. My mama's dad was murdered, shot in the head. My mama's dad, I am older than my grandparents lived to be. I'm 43. Her mom died due to complications with birth with my auntie, I believe. And her dad died, I think, when she was in her early 20s, back in the day. And I'm like, that is insane. That is completely insane. I'm older than my grandparents, and I'm only in my 40s, early 40s. Now, in working with my stepdad, you know, he gets to vent to me because not everybody else can feel this sensation. Not everybody else knows her like we know her. And it gives him the chance to not be the old, tough, gruff guy that he is. And it's good for him, but he also fights it, right? And I'm like, bro, you can do this. You're allowed to grieve. He's thinking he's getting dementia and some other stuff, and I'm like, you got brain fog, man. I got it too. This has been the worst period of my life, and I've exposed a lot of my personal issues online. I never named names of people who hurt me, but I've been through some shit, and this is it. In fact, I used this as a part of a speech that I gave, not a speech, but like a little briefing in my unit, because I'm the mental health advocate for my unit. And I put up all the stuff I've been through that I can remember in life, being robbed, being shot at, girlfriend cheated on me. I was one of those dudes, right, where they call you on the phone and your girl is banging some dude. They called and left his voicemail. When I heard the voicemail, I was like, yo, he got her saying she loved him and all this other shit. I was like, this was like right my high school crush. After high school, though, I was grown, but I was like, that's wild. Car got stole, car been broken into, house has been broken into, bankruptcy, divorce, ghosted, investigated by the FBI. I've had a myriad of experiences, losing people that I love, car accidents, my friend died, friend committed suicide, my brother, like the stuff that people experience in life. I'm not an island with life experiences, but my island has a lot of shit on it. And then on the slide, which is what it was, I was describing all of this stuff, and then the next slide was a list of things I cared about the second my mama died, and it was blank. It was a black blank slide because I didn't give a shit about nothing. Nothing mattered more than what just happened to my mom. Relationship shit, all that's in fact, even on this channel, I'm never talking about relationship shit again. Good, bad, ugly, positive, I say that now, but I don't, whatever. It no longer interests me. A lot of stuff no longer interests me. Even when I dropped my bike and I dented it, I was watching the bike fall. I was trying to hold on to it. I had a cramp in my leg. I was on the wrong side of the bike. It fell. It hit the ground, and I'm like, shit! Then 5 seconds later, I was like, fuck it. Right? I'm not completely aloof about all things in life, but for the most part, I don't think, and I hope to God, or whatever deity there is out there, that there is nothing ever more impactful than me losing my mom. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Because I might check out. And I thought about that too, right? The stuff I was going through last year, I was like, I would have killed my mom. There was no way my mom could have handled me if I decided to go ahead and hit the punch out button because of my stress and the bullshit I went through the year before, just recently before that. And I felt horrible for even thinking it for a split second that would be a solution, because I lost my mom. If my daughter would have had to experience what I just experienced, and my mom would have had to experience losing this, never will that shit enter my brain again. Never. And I was like, that's wild. Never doing that shit again. Never thinking that shit again. I need to find a new way to handle my mental health. And I've done so, right? And now, I'm not going to say nothing can faze me, but I'm real unfuckwittable right now. Just because this tragic event has changed my view on so many things in life. I care about things, but I'm not going to allow certain things to have that much weight over me. If I have another bad experience in dating and relationships, it is what it is. I dropped my bike. It is what it is. I'll fix it. I'll repair it. You know, I've recovered from losing money. Like, I can recover is the main thing. And I'm trying to, you know, help my stepdad manage and recover because he lost his anchor, right? She policed him. She kept the money in the bank. She paid the bills. He was like, she give me allowance. It's my goddamn check. I just need some motorcycle money. And, you know, in absorbing those duties, I guess I've, you know, unofficially become, not I don't want to say a replacement for my mom, but he relies on me to do stuff, and I want to do it, right? I want to make up for lost time, and I want to ensure that he's okay and making the right decisions. Even when he's mad at my niece, I'm like, you might want to still put her in the wheel. Like, come on now, you're just mad right now. You'll be fine. She'll be fine. This is a temporary thing. You're not losing your mind. You got the brain fog. Your wife passed away, and you don't know how to handle it because y'all been together for 40 plus years. How did you expect you were going to feel? So, done all of that. Got the pieces. Got the stuff. Got the, you know, the urn. I got the epoxy pieces. I gave him his. We as a family now have a group thread, which we never had before. It started off with just me and my mama's information, and now it's just us keeping in touch with each other for random stuff. And I should probably change the name of it now, but it is an unexpected benefit to the family coming together because my mom passed away. I'm not going to say this. It is a good thing, but I don't. We got a family group thread, and it's because we all came together for my mom, and we're going to keep it until somebody deletes it or changes it or does something else. But hopefully, this will never go away. It's slowly getting better. I can function now. I can, like, I get now, like, I'll never make fun of somebody who got PTSD or had a traumatic thing, or you saw people block shit out. I knew it existed, but I didn't think about it really until this happened, because like I said, my folks came down, they was in their blues, and they came to the funeral, and I was giving them the speech on the drill weekend, and I was like, yo man, hey, did my mom passed away? And he was like, yeah, I know, I was there. And I looked at him and I'm like, shit, you were there. We talked. I stopped making short-term memories for a while. I'm talking to this man like he didn't know my mama died, and he came to the funeral in his dress blues to support me. Came to the viewing the day before. It fell out of my brain. And I had to go through and look at the people. I'm like, shit, were you there? Were you there? Like, and then conversations I had, I don't remember them. The fog, the short-term memory loss, or not even making them, I don't know which one is which. All that stuff's real. My stress levels were through the roof on top of the year that I already had. And I was just so happy that I was able to take my mom out to do something. Friday, August 29th was the last time I took my mom out. Me, her, my stepdad went out. My stepdad, and my mom texted me, hey son, like she does, hey, she wanted to do something, which is the picture I was using for the thumbnail, was me and my mom, and my stepdad was probably just me and my mom, but we were all there. Went to BJ's Brew House. And she texted me up a couple days before that, was like, hey, Bobby want to do something, so do I. I was like, all right, ma, I'm going to think of something. So I text her back, hey, how about Friday? I'm going to come get you, give you the full treatment. You know, take y'all out, we going to get some food. So I went, grabbed him up, took him to BJ's. We had fun. She was picking off my damn dessert like she does. And that was the last picture I took with my mom. And I'm glad that I took her out and we had a good time and she enjoyed her food, and it was me trying to be a better son that whole year. And I'm glad I actually put the effort in, because god damn it, if I didn't, I don't even know. And I told the same thing to my stepdad, right? Like, I would, you know, anytime I would go over there, Mother's Day I would take him something, Father's Day I would take her something. I just celebrated both at the same time, because I'm like, she always stealing this food anyway. But it was a good time. And I'm glad the last thing that I said to my mama wasn't nothing snarky. It wasn't no smart ass response. It wasn't me being a butthole telling me I ain't coming to fix your computer. Because she drove me crazy. I'm telling you, when you see the speech at the end, you're going to understand. But it was, I love you, happy birthday, and I'm gonna see you later. Yeah. So this is a little clip. I'm pretty sure this part is my stepdad trying to appreciate my heart, my emotional availability, or my character.
Sometimes I think I consider myself a pretty smart guy, and sometimes when you talk, I have to tell you, wait a minute, what the fuck did you just say?
Yes. I do remember that as well.
So, you don't. I would all around the bush to say that you don't have to feel angry with yourself because of anything that you did as a child. You were a child, and that's what children do, and what the fuck. I mean, you whether because of what we said or because of what we said, you chose your own path, and you did fine. So, you got nothing to apologize for. Well, yes, you do. So you just make me feel better. But you were. I guess you were. Well, not I guess you were apologizing for not being receptive as a kid or whatever. And I wanted to tell you that, so I'll take this opportunity to tell you that you don't have anything to apologize for. You were just a kid, and most kids are ungrateful motherfuckers. So, but you are way past that now, and you are a successful adult, and so whatever we did or didn't do, it stuck. So, just say thanks and keep going. I mean, that's if you ever said to your mother, thank you, then the rest is, fine. We were all right with it, even if you didn't. Our thanks came when you became a success.
Well, thanks again.
Yeah. That's So I said all that, and you can apologize for not bringing me nothing to eat.
And this part is, I'm 100% sure he's appreciating my intelligence. Again, he's 82, so his words of affirmation are pretty awesome. And immediately after this clip, we're gonna play. I'm gonna insert the video of me saying goodbye to my mom.
Why would a guy like you, who has all of this not only knowledge but perseverance, you don't just know shit. You know shit, and then you do shit with the shit that you know. It's not, you don't just, which is what my problem is. Like, I read books and then I don't do anything after I read them. If we get into a conversation about something that I'm really fanatical about, then we can have a conversation about it. But other than that, that's as far as it goes. I am not a finisher. I just like to know shit. So I know shit, but I don't do shit with the shit that I know. You know shit, and you do shit with the shit that you know. That's really, I mean, that's, you the man.
This genre of motorcycle therapy is going to be much different from now. I don't know how many more videos I'm going to make because, again, I stopped going to regular therapy too, because after that shit, I was like, fuck a relationship. I don't need to talk about it no more. I don't care. Like, there's nothing for us to talk about, Mr. Therapist. I have bigger fish to fry, and all the things that I was previously stressed about have lost all meaning. Not to say that they won't come back, but they haven't so far, and it is what it is. So, if I continue to make these videos, I might not have the same passion that I had before. There'll still be stuff that means stuff to me and hopefully to somebody else. We'll see. We'll see. I love my mom, and I hope she was proud of me. I feel like she was. I'm out. Okay, so in true fashion, I forgot something, but one video really can't encompass my mom. However, I would like to say that she inspired me. As I said, I was going through hundreds and hundreds of pictures. My mom was in a couple hundred, maybe. It's because I was in them, my friends were in them, my family was in them, because she was always taking pictures, and I realized that my mom did some off-the-wall stuff. Even back in the 80s and 90s, like, that's crazy. My mom would take my friends wherever I went. Science Center, History Museum, you know, Henry Ford Village, like Henry Ford Museum, Greenfield Village. Like, the pictures that I have at these places, my mom always had my friends with me. My mama flew my high school girlfriend down to watch me graduate basic training, which I wish I would. I wish I would. She let her stay at my house in my room while I was going to basic a couple times. Like, she would wear my, you know, sweatshirts around the house. This is good old high school loving and all that jazz, right? You know, just first love type stuff. And my mom brought her down to watch me graduate basic training in Lackland, Texas. Like, it's Lackland Air Force Base, San Antonio, Texas. It's just, and going through and remembering all those things and remembering all that stuff that I've experienced because of my mom and my stepdad, obviously, because he was helping fund a lot of my adventures. It inspired me, right? Like, the last year I had been spending a lot of time with my daughter anyway. She came to rescue me when I was in the funk, and we had just been hanging out, nature walks, and going to museums, and going to, you know, just doing daddy-daughter stuff. It was real daddy-daughter heavy. But I decided, hey, you know, I can't remember now because of the brain fog, like, if it was before or after my mom's funeral. I think it was the weekend before. I just said, hey, we going to the reptarium, ask your people if they want to go. Her friend came with us. We went and had a great time. We saw, you know, freaking sharks. We touched stingrays, or are they stingrays? Yeah. Manta rays? We touched a ray. We held snakes. We had, you know, the whole works. And we just spent time together because I felt it was a good way to honor my mom by doing something that she always did for me, even if it was the smallest gesture, because that took a lot for her, I'm sure, you know, managing, because it was young kids. It wasn't like teenagers, you know, I was 7, 8, 12, you know, rowdy, running around, all boys too, right? So, you know, just rambunctious, all debunctious. And it was just, I don't know. I just felt like I did my mama proud that day, where I was like, let me demonstrate some traits of the things that my mom did for me when I was younger. And I'm going to keep it up, most likely, right, as much as I can. My daughter's old now. She's 19, right? She don't want to hang out with her dad, too. But she hangs out with me. Not an issue. But she also wants to go do 19-year-old, I have my own car stuff, which, hey, I can understand it. But when I can, if I can, if she got folks that want to go hang out and I can afford it, we all going. Because that's what my mama would do. Now I'm out. Enjoy my mama's eulogy.
Welcome everybody. I'm Javon, Javon, last son, baby boy. So we felt appropriate that I go last. Now it's gonna be a little different. If I lose my composure or my train of thought, just let me have it, I'll get it back. Plus I'm gonna need your help anyway. You don't know when it's your turn, because I'm just gonna gesture to the group. You don't get it on the first and second try, you'll get about a third, just follow the family. I'm the youngest, and 42. I'm not saying my brother and sister are old, but I'm the youngest. And 42. I want to thank my older brother and sister for being there for my mom when I was 9. Yes, I was present. Yes, I was available. I never stood my mom up. When I said I was coming, I did. First thing you do is, I should have did more. Now, my brother was there physically last for my mom, and my sister's done more for my mom over the years than she cares to take credit for. So I'm gonna do it for her and say thank you. Same goes for my nieces and nephews, especially Bibi, the golden child. She helped my mom and Bobby a lot. She helped us just to make it to today. Now, I'll tell you 2 things about my mom. I'll tell you how she was, I'll tell you what she said. First, I'm gonna introduce you to my mom in case you never met her. Number 1, my mom crazy. But she ain't that crazy. Now, I told this story the same day my mama passed, she got a wig for every occasion. Sometimes we over there looking at each other, my brother, my sister, my nieces, my nephews, they go, your mama crazy, your granny crazy. I looked at my mom, I said, Ma, she went, yes. I said, you got the tag. In the front, and you got the bang on the side. I said, Ma, look like you got on a baseball helmet. I said, you look like Viola Davis in that main movie with that strong walk from the west side. My mama turned that wig so quick, I said, my mama crazy. But she ain't that crazy. Now, another incident. My mama called and texted the family. I know she called and texted the family because we started calling and texting each other. You get that call from Granny? You get that text from Mama? I said, yes. Don't you get that lady no money? She needs some glasses. She needs them right now. I called up there. I paid for the glasses. I didn't tell her that because I made a silent promise to my mama years ago. I'm going to just be a better son. I'm going to do stuff. When she go in there, she's fine. I said, she just called and see who gonna bite and see who love her. Because my mama crazy.
But she ain't that crazy.
Another incident, my mom called me up. Hey son, can you go sign me some veneers? I said, for what? Who you smiling at? Your husband in the family room. I said, your teeth will be just fine if you quit chewing ice and stay home. So I'm not talking about chewing the meat off the bone. My mama take the tea out the T-bone and chew the bone. My mama crazy.
But she ain't that crazy.
Another incident. My mama hurt her foot. I don't know which one. She had the super boot with the straps and the foot and the compression. She had it elevated. We over there for another family thing, me and my brothers and sisters. We looked at each other. I said, Ma, she go, yes. I said, you got the boot
On the wrong.
foot. She said, oh! I said, my mom, she just trying to get us over here. She ain't hurt. I said, my mom crazy.
But she ain't that crazy.
Same foot, different day. Bobby called me up like he do. Hey man, I found this scooter on Craigslist. I need you to go get it when you're available. I said, I'm gonna be a better son, I'm available. I'm gonna go get it. So I go meet the Craigslist killer out in Port Huron. By myself, get the scooter, take the scooter to my mama's house. I go about my business. I come back for something else family. My mama scooting around. I looked at my mom. I said, Ma. She goes, yes. I said, you got the good leg on the scooter. And you scooting.
With the bad leg?
Bad. I said, my mama crazy.
But she ain't that crazy.
Now, I'll tell you how my mama was. My mama can't be late. She got to get there early.
Yeah.
Dentist appointment, doctor's appointment, graduation, baby shower, wedding. My mama can't be late. She got to get there early. I held the baton for years. My sister held the baton, Larry, Bobby, of course, and recently the golden child, Bibi. And I don't call her that because she's perfect. I call her that because she golden brown like a pancake. McDonald's hash browns. And she learned what we already knew. My mama got a 10 o'clock appointment. You try to get her there at 9:30, that's too late. She'll call a cab. My mama can't be late. She got to get there early. Now, I'll tell you what my mama said. I'm the fix-it son for the gadgets, the computers, the laptops, the TVs, the wireless. Hey son, I need you to take a look at my smartwatch. I said, Mom, go buy these watches. Why are you buying these watches? I need to count myself. I said, 12. You go from the kitchen to the bathroom to the family room. I said, 24 if you go upstairs, quit buying watches. But I said, you know what, I'm gonna be a better son. I'm gonna let her do her thing. I'm gonna make it work, and I'm not gonna complain. I did 2 out of 3. I made it 17 minutes without complaining. But I let her do her thing, and I made it work. Last thing I did for my mom. She called me, hey, I got the computer, I got the printer. Okay. Ain't the computer I told her to get, it's the computer she wanted. I said, I'll make it work. Identical printer downstairs, same one upstairs. You ain't got to worry about ink. All you got to do now is get Bobby a new computer. She said, you should use the one in the closet. I said, what? Mine is not a computer in the closet, it was a printer. I took that printer out last summer, the ink was dead. We got a new printer because it was cheaper to buy a new printer. She said, it's a computer in there. I said, let me humor my mom. Go in the closet, I've been in 50 times. Inside a box, is a brand new HP all-in-one computer. Been in about 6 years. I said, my mama crazy. She said crazy. Okay, I spent 5 hours over my mama's house, fixing computers. Call me when you get home, son. Okay, I'll call you when I get home. I get home, I really enjoyed it. I had such a good time. I said, wow, I was working you. Okay. She called me back over down there for 5 minutes. I gotta go get the statement. I gotta get my daughter's mail because she got $117 in the credit union. I gotta get her statement and take her mail. I said, okay, well, I'll come get the mail. I'm there for 5 minutes. Call me when you get home, son. I'll call you when I get home. I'll call her. I really enjoyed it. Wow. Okay. I will let you do that. Same thing goes with my brother, I'm sure. He come over and do stuff. He's the repair son. Patch the walls, renovate the kitchen, run the electrical. That's him. She tell them the same thing. When they need muscle, they call us both. Get the couch out the back room. Get the TV out the basement. Move the washer and dryer from upstairs. Help me push the car to the garage. Get the snowball later. Cool. We laughing and working and joking, but as long as we working, we can laugh and joke because my mama crazy. She ain't that crazy. We leave, we go our separate ways. Call me when you get home, son. I said, okay. I get home, I call my mom. I really enjoyed you. You and your brother had me laughing, we was cracking up, and we worked. So I said, this one I'll take. She didn't have a good time. Last thing I did with my mom, she texted me, hey son, hi mom. Bob, want to do something, so do I. I said, okay, I'll make it happen. Trying to be a better son. Friday, August 29th, I took them to lunch. I said, I'm coming to get you. I need you to meet you there. I said, no man, you get the full treatment. I'm come pick you up, get them both. Drive them far from them. We walk into the restaurant. I said, you get whatever you want. You want a steak, you want a burger, you can have it. She got what she wanted. Somehow my mama got me cutting her steak and she eating my dessert. I said, I told her she can have whatever she wanted, but I guess my dessert tasted best. Cool. It's the last picture I took of my mom. That's what's in the picture. I drive them home, drop them off, call me when you get home, son. Okay, mom. I had such a good time. I really enjoyed it. The food was good. I love it. I said, thanks, mom. I'm glad you had a good time. A couple of days later, Bobby texts me 3 in the morning because he forgets people do go to sleep. Hey man, your mama's still smiling. I said, cool. Maybe this better son thing is starting to stick. Last thing I said to my mama, hey mom, just want to call you and tell you happy birthday. So we don't want your granddaughter to wake up so we can take it together. She's getting ready to go to work. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm just been lazy. I don't want to leave the house. It's cold out. She leaving. I want us to come together because I will bring you something. Usually the last couple of years, like I said, I try to be a better son. I take them both something. She gets something for Father's Day. He gets something for Mother's Day. She gets something for his birthday. He gets something for her birthday. I said, I'm gonna just treat them both. I said, she getting ready to work. Not this weekend because I got military duty, but we gonna come see you together. Oh, she working? I said, yes, ma'am. She got school in the morning. She got work in the afternoon. She in school? I said, yes, ma'am. She's in college-ish. College-ish, yes. Nail certification program. She doing pedicures, manicures, all that stuff. So, okay, son. I said, now, you know my mama. We've had this conversation, but that's okay. Okay, son. I love you. Later, later. She don't always say bye. Monday, happy birthday. Tuesday, fine. Wednesday, doctor's appointment. Thursday, sick. Friday, gone. I know where I'm standing. I got a churchy family. I was raised in the church, but I've never been super religious. And I was trying to find a way to properly send my mama home. And the whole week I was practicing this, trying to finish it, and trying to figure it out. The only thing I could think of is my mama loved her family. She wouldn't just give up on life. She had printed some watches for me to fix. But my mom came in late.
Oh my God.
She just got up there early.
Ooh.
As soon as she done with her turn with the big man, after she asked me to take a look at her watch, she gonna look down here and see all of y'all. When you walk out this building, when you get to the threshold of your house, I'm gonna tell you on her behalf that she enjoyed you. Because my beautiful mother was crazy.
But
She
now
wasn't
she
that crazy.